Hey guys, welcome to the 101 in 10, where you get to see your favorite artists from around the world 101 in 10 minutes. This is your girl, Ayasha Roberson. I'm back on the scene with a new artist. So we have this talented group. They have this classical rock sound. I like their melodies. I like their lyrics, but their latest single, we're going to talk about later in the show, they have their own different style. Another artist who has their own voice. They have their own sound. They don't sound like any other artists that I have heard before, but they have their own influences as well. So without further ado, let me help you introduce you to Mr. Brandon Gold of Glasglow.
Glasgow.
Yes, Glasgow.
Right.
Sorry, I chopped your name up.
It's okay.
Mr. Brandon Glasgow. He is from the group, the Gray Scales.
Yep, the Gray Scales.
They are what is it? It's a 3-band group or 4-band group in New York.
It's your classic rock band setup. So 2 guitars, bass, drums.
Drums. Yes. And I love their sound. And thank you so much, Brandon, for being on our show. And can you tell the audience and myself, of course, what were your musical influences growing up and how did you get started in the industry?
Musical influences are kind of all over the map, as you can see. They got a bunch of records on the wall behind me.
That's really cool to have some records.
I've been doing it for a couple of years. Some of it's just aesthetic, but some of it is stuff that I really am influenced by. I can look up there and see like Elton John and Prince and Al Green and the Beatles and like all of those influences. My influences are kind of all over the map. I really try to find different influences, different musical styles to help me grow as a writer for the band. I've been doing this for quite a while, mostly solo stuff. I've done 4 albums of my own material, and then I recently got together with the band and we did our debut album right at the end of 2020. We did all the recording and everything. We were ready to go. Pandemic hit, everything went to hell. So we're like, now that things are opening back up again, we're picking up where we left off. We've got a full slew of songs that we're yet to record, so we're ready to do our second album. That's where we are right now.
I'm excited for you guys, and I love to hear the fact that you have such a versatile background of different artists. I just love the fact, personally, that you have so many records there, because a lot of younger people don't even know what a record is. They're like, what's a record?
Yeah, and
that's the authenticity of the music itself when you have it on a record. And I remember we had a record player. I don't even know. It was like a tape player and a record player, like little box type of thing, like stereo box. And I remember having a record player, and my mom had one. And I remember her teaching me how to even play a record. You know what I mean? Because you scratch the record and things of that nature as well. But I love the fact that you have this versatile of influences and you were able to create your own sound. Now, I know that you said the pandemic pushed you back a little bit, but I always say every setback is a setup for a comeback. So your comeback with your latest song and your latest album as well, I should say Life Lessons, which is the latest single. Can you tell me a little bit about some of your success? Because you already told me a little bit about your challenges. Can you tell me a little bit about your success as an artist?
As an artist, I think my biggest success is kind of building the group of musicians that I'm working with in the band. I've gotten to the point where I've got some really quality, good players, and keeping the good players interested and sticking around is something that's been really hard to do. So my guitarist is fantastic. My drummer is amazing. My bassist is awesome. And like, we go out and we do killer shows, and so the best thing that we've got going on right now is like some of the shows we've been doing around New York, playing Bowery Electric, Arlene's Grocery, some of these venues that we're looking to get into, some of the larger venues. But right now, our focus is writing good material for the second album and just refining our live performance. So that's kind of the successes we have is being able to play these venues and be invited back and play them again. So that means we're doing a good job. And if I can see some feet tapping while we're playing, I'm doing my job.
Well, let me tell you something. I had some feet tapping while I was playing your song life lessons. So how did you come up with that song and that concept as a writer?
Well, for me, I try to look at the writing parts of everything. I mean, Life Lessons is the entire album, but there's lots of tracks throughout the album, and I want to try and do something different with every one of the tracks. And so I bring, being the primary songwriter, I bring what I think is like a rough idea of the song to the band, and then I trust their instincts. I let them kind of run with it at that point. So I'll say, here's the framework, here are the chords, here's what I was thinking. What do you guys want to do with it?
Wow, that's great.
There was a song that I had on the album called Happy Home that I wrote as kind of like a sad, romantic-y, feel-good song. And I brought it to the band, and it ended up having like a reggae vibe by the time we were at the end of it. So it's like completely out of the blue. I didn't expect it, but it worked. It sounded really good. So that's kind of the nice thing about working with other people in the band, is you don't know what direction it's going to go. Right. And that's the organic and fun thing about working.
Yeah, and that's the very organic and authenticity of it, because it's not like you're saying, okay, this is a song, I want you to play this sound with this song, I want you to do this and this, that, and third. And I think that's where people lose their authenticity and organic of the music, because you're boxed in on what you should play, but you may not feel that way when you hear that song. And I like the fact that you're able to get your band to actually listen to the music and allow them to feel it, and it all comes together.
Yeah, I mean, the more that the band feels the music, the better they're going to want to play it. So that's kind of what I fell into. And I tried when I was younger, tried to do all of that. Like, here's what I want you to play. Here's the way I want you to do it. And it just never quite felt right. Yeah. And now it's feeling more authentic. It's fun.
Love it. Love it. And I think once you get rid of like having to control things, because I think as human beings, we like to control every element of our lives. Yeah. And I think once you get to a period of your life where you're growing personally, and that kind of ascends into your professional life as well, and spiritually, you kind of let go of the control and just go with the flow. Just like you just go with the flow. You like, okay, let's just go with the flow of things, and everything actually comes together so much better when you let go of the control versus when you're controlling everything.
Yeah, I mean, I found that even just as a songwriter, I've tried to have those days where I sit down and be like, all right, I'm going to write a song today. I'm going to sit down and focus. I'm going to write a song. And if I'm not feeling it, no matter how much I want to, it's not going to come. Meanwhile, I might be driving around or like walking in the streets in New York, and I'll have an idea for a song, and I got to catch that. I got to get it written down. I got to put it down now, because when it comes, I want to be ready for it. Correct. And then I'll bring the stuff to the band. So it's not like something you can force necessarily. Yeah, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, and I think that's I will say that is the key for this year, just kind of like in letting things just flow and everything just kind of naturally fall into place. And once you get to that place in your life as an artist or as a person, it just allows just things just to kind of come, and things just come to you just naturally. Like you just said, you were out and you just like, let me just write that down real quick. It just comes to you. It comes to you unexpectedly, and once you put all the material together, everything just flows. And that's what I get when I listen to your album. I listen to the music. Everything just flows. And I'm looking forward to hearing your new album in 2023, which should be coming out very, very soon.
Yeah. We're going to be ready to record stuff soon. So right now we're focusing, like I said, on like getting the songs tight, going out and playing. But we're planning on going into the studio probably in the next couple of months and start putting things together, laying some tracks down.
So do you have any upcoming shows that you can let the fans know about where you're going to be playing in the city?
Right now, I live in Astoria in Queens, and I do a lot of work with the Astoria Music Collective out here. Okay. They're putting on a fall festival, showcasing tons of local artists, which I love supporting and want to do a lot of work with. So that's going to be coming up in the first couple weeks in November. We'll be playing that. I'm not quite sure the date yet. So you guys can check out all of like our Instagram and socials, and that'll give you the updated information for that. That's the next big thing.
Great. What's your social media on Facebook and on IG as well, right?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, it's Gray Scales Band. Gray with an E, Scales with 2 S's on both ends. But yeah, it's the same thing for Facebook. It's the same stuff, and that's usually where we post our upcoming shows. Follows and likes are always helpful. I mean, they're just helpful for us, but it's also helpful for us to like book other shows. So, that's kind of the way the business is these days.
Correct. And if you guys are in the New York City metropolitan area, make sure you check them out in Astoria, Queens. The Astoria, Queens is near Manhattan. So you can take that number 7 train.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
train, take that number 7 train up there. Make sure you follow them on Facebook, the Gray Scales, like not the color gray, but Gray, Grey.
Yeah.
And definitely, I think I may even come up to see you guys.
Please do.
For this next event as well, because I like supporting local artists, and I love meeting artists as well at this event. Anything I could do to support and meet, I'll definitely make sure I follow you guys as well. And thank you guys for tuning in to the 101 and 10. And thank you so much, Brandon, for doing this interview. We really appreciate it. And thank you for all that you are doing with your group. I'm looking forward to the new album, and make sure you purchase their music on Spotify and all music platforms as well.
Yeah, we're on Bandcamp, Spotify, all of that stuff. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes, and Life Lessons is the album. So they have a lot of tracks on that album. There's a lot of songs that is very authentic, it's relatable, and it's very organic. So you can relate to it, and it's going to really help you get through your the lessons of life, or life lessons. So take care, everyone. Continue to shine bright and continue to be motivated through the things that you do through life that's going to continue to make you the artist that you desire to be. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.